Thank you for joining us. Words are powerful. When you change your words, you change your world. The Earl Nightingale said, "We become what we think about. We are where we are and what we are because of the dominating thoughts that occupy our mind. Every thought, every feeling, every action has an energy consequence." Words are powerful. They create feelings in ourselves and in others. Words can discourage or encourage, demotivate or motivate, tear down or build up, hurt or help. They can create sadness or create joy. So let's take a look at, in the next few minutes, on how this whole process works. Uh, Everything starts with our thoughts, how we think, which affects how we act. But in between, we have the words that we think, the words that we say to ourselves, the words that we hear, the words that we read, and they form our beliefs, and that turns into action, and then we get results accordingly. So let's take a look at that one at a time. Our thoughts come from our conditioning. We're conditioned by parents, and the words that we hear from our parents, and the feelings that we get from that, from teachers, from friends, from experiences, and the words that we put on those experiences. It really isn't the experience itself, it's our reaction to the experience. And all of those things create conditioning. And probably the most powerful of those is how we talk to ourselves based on conditioning from parents, teachers, friends, and experiences. So change your thoughts, change your world. And then all of that comes from words. And we already talked about the fact that words are powerful. We're talking about the spoken words, the words that are thought, written words, and then all of those words that accumulate over the years form our beliefs. And I had the pleasure of meeting a fellow author while waiting to board a plane in Cleveland to head back to Dallas. Her name is Joanne Mussolf, and there was a chapter in her book. We swapped books, and I read her book and really enjoyed it. And there was a small section in there on belief that is worth reading word for word, because she really does a good job of expressing this. She says, you have, meaning each of us, thousands of beliefs. You have beliefs about your beliefs. And everyone you know has beliefs about your beliefs. Your beliefs are intertwined, overlapping, and intricate. And since you repeated them time and again, they have become an ongoing, seemingly permanent part of your story. Your beliefs are the assumptions you make about yourself and others. They control what you think about. They determine what you think is true and what isn't true. They define how you expect things to be. They're the basis for the places you'll go and the risks you're willing to take. They determine the people you'll let support you and the people whose input you ignore. Your beliefs can be supportive or limiting. They can be long held or recently learned. They can lead you to exciting and satisfying futures or keep you stuck in your ruts. They define the depth and breadth of your dreams. Simply put, your beliefs, along with the unique meaning or judgment you assign them, predict how you'll experience your life. I thought that was powerful. I thought that was worth sharing this morning, today. And basically, our beliefs form our attitude, how we think. And W. Clement Stone said, there's little difference between successful people and unsuccessful people, but the little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude. The big difference is whether it's positive or negative. Yeah. So we talk about PMA, positive mental attitude. Well, the flip side of that is negative mental attitude. Positive mental attitude equals success. Negative mental attitude equals failure. So all of those things, our thoughts, our words, our beliefs, lead to our actions. What we do, our behavior, how we act, and then that drives the outcomes or the results, and it also helps us form relationships. Now, three things that we want to keep in mind here, that we need to guard these three things. We need to guard our talk, because change your words and you change your world. We need to guard our self-talk, because that's even more important, because we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, and we think from our conscious mind. And unfortunately, our subconscious mind hears everything we say, and it doesn't know the difference between fact and fantasy. That's also good news because we can program our subconscious mind to do our bidding for us. So we need to guard our talk, guard our self-talk. And then the third thing is that we need to guard our choices. So some of the things that you hear people say is, it's not my job. Okay, that's garbage. That's negative thinking. Don't say it's not my job. Say you can count on me. I'll do it. I'll take care of it. Okay. People say, well, there's nothing I can do. That's the victim mentality, and they feel sorry for themselves. Instead of saying there's nothing I can do, say, hey, whatever it takes. If I don't know, I'll learn, and I'll practice, and I'll do whatever it takes. One of the biggies in my mind is people who say, I'm just a salesperson. I'm just a manager. I'm just this. I'm just that. That really limits our thinking. Instead of that, say, I'm good at. Look at your strengths and say, I'm good at. And then if you're not good at it, learn how to get good at it. Okay. Or people say, I'm too busy or I'm too tired. Say, hey, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. What's the old saying about you want something done, you give it to a busy person. So I'll do it is a great thing. And then complaining. One of the things that is a repellent trait that most people hate is constantly complaining about things that you can't change. I call that grumble, grumble, grumble. You know who that person is. They're always grumbling about something. They instead of grumbling, say, hey, happy to do it. My pleasure. And remember that people will remember how you made them feel long after they forget the words you use. That's attributed to Maya Angelou. But here's the thing. So they forget the words, but it's the words that made them feel that way. Change your words, change your world. Now, we all know the magic words. We heard them from mom. We heard them from kindergarten teachers. The magic words, the classic magic words are please and thank you. But there's some other magic words. I believe in you. Okay. Now that's talk. I believe in myself is self-talk. I understand. Okay. That shows empathy and that we care about people. That's talk. The self-talk can be, I know what I know. Okay. In a coaching environment or in a work environment or in a management environment, what can I do to help? What do you think? People love to share their opinions. Tell me about it. Tell me more. Then what happened? What did you learn? What will you do different next time? What will it mean to you? What conditions have to exist for you to, someone's thinking is clogged up. Zig Ziglar called that stinking thinking. Okay, ask them, what conditions have to exist for you to be able to do that? Okay, and then say, how can I help? What can I do to help? And my favorite magic word of all time is wow. When someone does something good, say wow. Your kids do something good, say wow. One of your employees does something good, say wow. When you do something good, say wow. Okay? Now, so a lot of that had to do with talk. Now, let's talk about self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? Do you affirm your strengths? Do you look for the good in yourself and others? Do you state things in terms of what you're good at or what you're not good at? Do you state things in terms of what you want or what you don't want? Do you encourage yourself? Do you encourage others? All right. Now, here are some words and phrases to eliminate or replace. Instead of saying I'm poor at, say I'll learn and practice to get better. Instead of saying I don't have enough time, say I make time for important things. Instead of saying I'm too busy, say I always have time for my priorities. Instead of saying I'm just, say I'm proud of who I am and what I do. Instead of try, say do or do not. I think Yoda told us that. There is no try, only do or do not. Instead of saying if, say when. Be positive and think about what it takes to get it done. Instead of saying you should have, say next time. Should have is past tense, and there's nothing we can do about past tense. But if you say next time, if you do this, perhaps you'll get even better results. Instead of telling someone they have to, which is parental, off-putting, people will push back on you when you tell them they have to do something. Say the best way to do that is, or the easiest way to do that is, and instead of saying can't, again, this is self-talk, say I don't want to, I choose not to, because chances are anytime we say can, it really means that we don't want to or that we choose not to. And boy, in customer service, eliminate these two words, policy and rule. Instead of saying it's our policy, say here's what we can do. Instead of saying it's the rule, say here's what we can do. Or here's what I suggest. Here's what I recommend. Here's the best way to handle that. And then you've probably heard the classic eliminate but, because in any sentence, when whatever follows but is usually a negative, and people are thinking about what's coming next when you say but. So when you say you did a great job, but people waiting for the other shoe to drop. So instead of saying but, substitute and. So you might say something like, you did a great job on such and such, and you could add even more by doing this next time. Or we had great production today, and next week we can make it even better by doing this, this, and this. All right, let's wrap up right here. I forgot 3 words. Okay, instead of saying you should, you'll want to because. Instead of saying no problem, you thank someone for doing something for you, and they say no problem. Well, that seems like a easy thing to do, but hey, I didn't have a problem when I come in here. I came in here to buy some Chick-fil-A. They no problem. What do they say at Chick-fil-A? My pleasure. Happy to do it. Okay, so eliminate no problem from your vocabulary. Change your words, change your world. Okay, and again, instead of have to, say you get to. All right, and then the third thing, so we talked about your talk and your self-talk, and the third thing is change your choices. And our greatest power is our power to choose. We can choose to be positive or negative, happy or sad, ambitious or lazy, goal-directed or adrift, green and growing or ripe and rotting. We can take responsibility or we can make excuses. We can learn and improve, or we can be satisfied with the status quo. We can do our best, or we can settle for good enough. All right, now guard your talk, guard your self-talk, guard your choices. Number 1, read positive books and messages. Number 2, use affirmations to tell your subconscious mind what you want to have happen instead of what you don't want to have happen. And then choose your words carefully, because when you change your words, you change your world. And in summary, watch your thoughts for they become words, choose your words for they become actions, and understand your actions for they become habits. Study your habits for they become your character, and develop your character for it becomes your destiny. Thank you.